Welcome back to Natilik Live. My name is Rory Tempest. I'm here today to talk about some real-life customer examples of a product we were talking about just a couple of weeks ago on the live studio, and that's Cisco's new product, Stealthwatch. I'm delighted to welcome back Robbie Thaw to Natilik Live. Robbie, you've been on before. It's great to have you back on.
Thank you, Rory.
We're talking today about use cases of Stealthwatch. I know we were talking previously, you've got a customer that's just looked at deploying this solution. So I guess to start with, do you want to tell us a little bit more about the customer, who they were, and maybe some of the challenges they were facing?
Yeah, sure. So this was a global investment management firm. You're looking at a few hundred users, pretty small IT team, and their locations are based all around not only EMEA, but America and Asia Pac. And they were having a particular challenge. In their industry, there is a lot of encryption and security, as you'd expect, with a financial organization. And they had a little bit of a lack of visibility of their network. So, yeah, essentially the challenge was to try and find a product that ticked those two boxes, really.
Okay. And the guys obviously went through an exercise evaluating why they thought Stealthwatch was the right product. How did they come to that conclusion?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways of actually evaluating Stealthwatch and getting your hands on the product, so to speak. So the two ways are, so there is what's called SOVA, so that is Stealthwatch Online Visibility Assessment. That essentially reads the net flows within the organization, then collects those over 2 weeks, sends them up to the Cisco cloud, and then presents the client with a full report of that. We decided not to go that way in this particular instance. We decided to go with a full proof of concept, which is essentially a full production-worthy version of the software, deployed for the client to really kick the tires, just sort of really put it through its paces over 90 days. And then essentially we met up afterwards just to discuss the results of that, and that ended up with the client going ahead with the product.
And hopefully therefore suitably impressed. So what kind of things did they find having deployed Stealthwatch in that 90-day trial? What sort of the outcome for them?
Yeah, so I guess the challenge that they were having, and when we talk about things like visibility of the network, it's things like bandwidth hogs on the network, so who's using up a lot of bandwidth compared to others, any lateral movement from a security perspective in terms of data moving to places where it shouldn't be moving. There's also things like making sure that third-party applications, you can keep an eye on what they're doing. They may be trusted applications, but it's always good to have visibility of those kind of things too. And yeah, the other one really was sort of looking at things like web proxy, and when their users are sort of trying to go around that as well, and sort of pointing out those kind of things. That's pretty important.
Try and get around, yeah, especially in financial services we've talked about. But from my understanding of Stealthwatch, I mean, sometimes we would put it in a security realm. But I know it's not just limited to security in silo. We talk a lot about network security. So talk to me a little bit about what's next for this customer. So again, as part of that Stealthwatch journey.
Yeah, so I think the great thing about this particular journey is that this sort of works into other projects that we're working on at the moment. So this particular client is coming close to a network refresh. As part of that, we're going to be looking at the Catalyst 9K series. Now, that sort of allows us to look at a really cool feature called encrypted traffic analysis, which allows you to sort of read encrypted traffic without decrypting it. Obviously, that's pretty important, again, maintaining that level of encryption, which is pretty unique to this particular industry. No one else is doing that at the moment, which is a really cool feature. You've also got things like using Cisco ICE for automatic remediation as well, so being able to make those changes, again, like I mentioned, it's a small IT team, so it's pretty important for those kind of things to be done automatically, while still sort of providing the client with things like reports of what's been going on and what's actually being fixed, so they can have visibility of that as well. So lots to be done.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I think it's always good when you see that linking bit. I know a lot of the stuff that we've been publishing at the moment around ETA and the ability to speed up network times. I know for these guys that's often crucial when it comes to doing financial transactions. So that's been really useful. I think it's a great way of demoing just the capabilities of the Stealthwatch product, and lots of ways in which Robbie's mentioned that this particular customer chose to evaluate that. And as part of that, if you look out for the link that will come up live after this stream, you'll be able to actually go on and have a look at those things that Robbie's talked about, so the SOVA visibility assessment, or indeed straight into the 90-day free trial we've got going. Or whilst you're there, if you're just looking to find out a little bit more information, do keep your eyes peeled. We've got a couple of good infographics on there, one that talks about Stealthwatch as a product, on its own, but also we talk a little bit around why the ETA feature that we talked about in the Catalyst 9K. So again, if you're looking at network security as a whole, I'd really welcome the opportunity for you to have a look at that and interact with those as we go through. But Robbie, great to have you back on Natilik Live. Great to hear another amazing story from your client base, and hopefully looking forward to bringing you back at some point soon, and again welcoming you guys back on the live stream at some point in the near future. Thank you.